Good evening. Today I am going to start the second sem topics of accountancy subject, that is financial accounting 2. In financial accounting 2 we are having five important topics. Those are bills of exchange, consignment accounts, joint venture account, single entry, and non-profit organization accounts of non-profit organizations. These are the five topics that we come across when we go for financial accounting 2 for second sem people. Now, when you go for bills of exchange, what is a bill of exchange? It is one of the negotiable instruments, according to Negotiable Instruments Act of 1888. Okay, this is one of the important negotiable instrument, and we are having four negotiable instruments: check, draft, bills of exchange, and promissory note. These are the four types of negotiable instruments by which the debts they will be cleared between two parties. Okay, coming to check. Check is a conditional order. Check is a conditional order. Now, what about demand draft or DD? Some people they'll call that thing as DD, and some people they'll call that thing as demand draft. Demand draft is a conditional promise. Is a conditional promise. And what are the other two things? Bills of exchange and promissory note, or some people they'll call it simply as pro note. Okay, so what is a bill of exchange? A bill of exchange is an unconditional order. Okay, it's a unconditional order, and pro note or promissory note is nothing but an unconditional promise. Okay, and this thing, these negotiable instruments, they will exist between two parties, any two parties. When you take into account one person, he will purchase some goods, that is, we'll call him as purchaser or buyer, and the person who is selling the goods, we'll call him as seller. Suppose if the buyer, if he is not having any money with him to pay immediately, okay, then he will ask the seller to write a bill on him, okay, stating that I am going to pay after some time. So if the seller, if he accepts that, then automatically he will write a bill. Okay, bill of exchange is not a separate thing. It is nothing but a document made by the seller and signed by the seller on the other party, that is the buyer or the debtor. Here in bills of exchange we will come across creditor debtor relationship. It's not a principal agent relationship, it is a debtor creditor relationship. The buyer will be a debtor and the seller will be a creditor. Okay, and the creditor, what he will do is he will write a document, he will write a letter on a paper that so and so person he purchased goods on so and so date, and as he is unable to pay the money immediately, he is going to pay after some period of time, that is, it may be 30 days, or it may be 60 days, or it may be 90 days, or it may be 2 months, after 2 months, like that. They will specify the date, and on the due date, the debtor or the buyer, he has to pay the amount, and the creditor, he will return the letter. So that letter made by the seller and signed by the seller with a court fee stamp, we'll call that thing as a bill of exchange. In India, we are not having that bills of exchange. But when we go for Western countries, okay, there you will come across the bills of exchange, the importance of bills of exchange. There, they won't carry money. They'll carry card. Okay, either it may be debit card or credit card, or simply they'll go for bills of exchange. The bill of exchange is nothing but a document which settles the debt between two parties. So, when we go for this, okay, a special court fee stamp must be affixed. It's not an ordinary revenue stamp, or it's not an ordinary postal stamp. A separate court fee stamp must be attested to that, and both the parties, that is the seller as well as the buyer, they have to sign on the document. So that is nothing but bill of exchange. And when we go for bill of exchange, what type of bills we are having? Types of bills. We will have two types of bills. First one is trade bill and second one is accommodation bill. Okay, what is a trade bill? When you purchase any commodity, okay, purchase any commodity or commodities, and when you are not having enough money with you, then you will ask that you can ask the other person, that is the seller, to that you are not having enough money, and you will ask that person to write a bill on him. Sorry, the seller, he if he accepts that, if he agrees for that, then he will make a letter, he will write a letter. Okay, and that letter will call that thing as bill of exchange. Okay, here I told you already that the relationship between seller and buyer is nothing but debtor creditor relationship. Okay, debtor creditor relationship. And after payment of the bill, after payment of the bill, okay, the bill of exchange, it is not having any validity. That thing people they must understand. Okay, when you go for a bill of exchange, it will it be made by the creditor. Okay, 100 to 10 and 200 times I'm telling you the same thing, it must be made by the creditor or the seller. And how many parties will come across in this bills of exchange? We will come across three parties: drawer, drawee, and payee. Drawer, drawee, and payee. Drawer, who writes a bill of exchange, we will call him as a drawer, that is creditor. That is creditor. Okay, drawee, the on whom the bill is drawn, that is debtor, he is drawee. And at the time of payment, the debtor, he will become the payer, and the other party, that is the creditor, he will become the payee. Sometimes the creditor, he himself, he will act as a payee, or he will recommend, or he will suggest one person to be the payee. So, but on the due date, the payer, that is the debtor, he has to pay the amount without any failure to the person. Okay, this is how you will come across. You will come across three parties in the bills of exchange. And how many procedures, how many methods will come across in this bills of exchange? We will come across four methods. What are they? Honoring of a bill. Honoring of a bill. Sorry. Second one is dishonoring of a bill. Dishonoring of a bill. Third one is, okay, renewal of a bill. And the fourth one is retirement of a bill. Okay, and in bills of exchange, don't be of that opinion that we have to prepare so many accounts or so many statements we have to prepare. In bills of exchange, you will come across always the journal entries. You must be very thorough, and you must think where we have to use, what type of journal entries will come across, and where we have to use the journal entries. Okay, because don't be of that opinion that all the all the four methods, they'll come separately. Okay, in a bill of exchange, you will come across honoring of a bill, dishonoring of a bill, retirement of a bill, renewal of a bill, everything you will come across. Okay, so that is the speciality of bills of exchange. Now, when we go for drawer, we have to prepare the journal entries in the books of drawer as well as in the books of drawee. Now, when we are going for journal entries in the books of drawer, what are the journal entries that we come across? And in the same way, when we go for drawees books, what journal entries we will come across? All these things we are going to learn today, now itself. Okay, now when we are going for the drawer, in the books of drawer, what are the journal entries that we will come across? Okay, First of all, okay, first of all, he is a seller. He is a seller. He sells goods. So there, the first entry is purchaser account debtor or buyer account debtor to goods account, because he is selling the goods on credit. He is not taking any money, so he is selling the goods on credit. So purchaser account debtor or buyer account debtor to goods account. That is the first entry. And coming to the second entry, that is when he is drawing a bill, on the bill drawn and accepted, on the bill drawn and accepted, bills receivable account debtor to drawee's account. So the other party, that is the debtor's account, he will mention the drawee's account. So bills receivable, one thing you have to keep in mind is bills receivable is always an asset. Why? Because we are going to get something, some amount on that bill, so it is always an asset. And the same bills receivable to the other person, it will appear as bills payable. So bills payable is a liability, bills receivable is an asset, and bills payable is a liability. So this is the two entries that we come across when we go for this. And honoring, here, honoring of a bill, I am going for honoring of a bill on the due date, on the due date. Okay, okay, when the bill is paid. Okay, sir, what is the due date? All these things I cannot able to understand. If you think like that, okay, I'm going to give a small example. Suppose if you purchase some goods on 1st of a month, say for example 1st May, okay, and the buyer, he cannot able, he is not having enough money to pay for the goods, so he will request the creditor to write a bill, the seller to write a bill. Then the seller, he will become a drawer, and the buyer, he will become a acceptor or drawee. And the seller, he will ask, look my friend, I'm going to give you 30 days site, 30 days period. On 31st date you have to pay the bill. Like that, he, the drawer, he will insist. And for that, if the drawee, if he agrees, if he agrees, then on 31st day, the drawee has to pay the amount to the drawer. So honoring of a bill in that case, okay, that is payment of the bill on the due date, on 31st. Okay, on 31st. For example, 1st May, okay, 31st is the due date. So on 31st, anyhow, the drawee has to pay the money to the drawer. That is the due date. On 31st, okay, on the due date or on 31st, okay, the drawer, he will write cash or bank account debtor to bills receivable account, because he is going to get some cash, okay, on the bill whatever he had written. So cash or bank account debtor to bills receivable account, that is the thing. So with that, when the drawee, when he pays the amount to the drawer, he will return the bill to the drawee, and it is of no use. The drawee, if he wants to keep that, he will keep that, or if he want to torn that, he will torn that. Okay, that is the decision of the drawee. Okay, that is the decision of drawee. Okay, this is how you will come across honoring of a bill. Before honoring, before honoring, we'll come across three things. Okay, what is the thing? The drawer, he will draw a bill on the drawee, giving him some days, some period of time. After that, if he requires, if he requires money, then what he will do? Okay, because he didn't get money right from the drawee, because he had given some time for the drawee, and on the due date only the drawee is going to give. Okay, so what he will do is, he will take the bill, he will take the bill signed after the drawee. Okay, he will take the bill to the bank, and he will discount that, he will discount that. And for negotiable instruments, banks, they have to accept that, whether it may be check, whether it may be demand draft, whether it may be bills of exchange, or whether it may be promissory note. Whatever it may be, the negotiable instruments, the bank has to accept. So the drawer, what he will do is, he will take the bill to the bank and he will discount that. Sir, I had drawn a bill, but as I require some money, I am going to discount this bill with you. So the banker, what he will do is, after receiving the bill, they will say that, no, no, we are not going to give you the complete amount, we are going to discount. Okay, fine. You better reduce some amount and give me the remaining amount. So there the entry is bank account debtor, discount account debtor to bills receivable account. Okay, in the books of drawer, bank account debtor, he is getting some money. Discount account, because it is nothing but a loss to the drawer. So on what? On bills receivable. So bank account debtor, discount account debtor to bills receivable account. This is when the bill is discounted with the bank. Okay, next, second case. The drawer, what he will do is, he will take the bill from the drawer and he will endorse that to his some other person, his creditor. So there, the drawer, he will act as an endorser, and the other party, he will act as a endorsee. And when he is endorsing, endorsee's account debtor to bills receivable account, endorsee's account debtor to bills receivable account. That is when the bill is endorsed, when it is given to another person. So that is the second case that we come across. Another thing is, the third thing is, the drawer, instead of going to bank, he will send the bill to bank for collection. Okay, that is, he will give complete instructions to the bank to collect the money from that so and so person. Okay, as he is not having enough time to go and collect money. So then the bank, as an agent, it will take the responsibility in collecting the money from the drawer. So when the bill is given for collection, bill sent to bank for collection account debtor to bills receivable account, bills sent to bank for collection account debtor to bills receivable account. And when it is collected, cash or bank account debtor to bill sent to bank for collection account. So these are the entries that we come across when we go for honoring of a bill. In this bills of exchange, you will come across the 4 stages, and you will come across the journal entries for the 4 stages. Okay, so this is how you will come across in the books of drawer. Now coming to the books of drawee. So what are the entries that we come across? Purchase account debtor to seller's account. Purchase account debtor to seller's account. That is the first entry. The second entry is drawer's account debtor to bills payable account, because he has to pay the bill, isn't it? He has to pay the bill. So bills payable account. To whom he has to pay? To the drawer. So drawer's account debtor to bills payable account. That's all. And on the due date, okay, he is paying the money. So bills payable account debtor to cash or bank account. So these are the 3 entries. Sir, what about the 3 cases, sir? That is, when the bill is sent to bank, when the bill is discounted, when the bill is endorsed, when the bill is sent to bank for collection, there is no entry, and it is not related to drawee, because drawer is doing that. It is not the drawer he is doing. It is drawer he is doing that. He is discounting the bill, he is endorsing the bill, he is sending the bill for collection. Everything, these 3 things, they are done by the drawer only, and there is no responsibility for the drawer to take any action regarding these 3 things. When you come across these 3 things in the books of drawee, you have to write no entry. Only 3 entries you will come across in the books of drawee. What are they? Purchase account debtor to seller account, Next, drawer account debtor to bills payable account. Next, after that, bills payable account debtor to cash or bank account. These are the three entries that you will come across in the books of drawee. So this is about honoring of a bill. This is about honoring of a bill. And tomorrow, okay, we are going to take into account the dishonor of a bill. Okay, so don't be of that opinion that you come across so many statements, so many accounts in this bills of exchange. Only journal entries you have to pass in the books of drawer, in the books of drawee, and sometimes in the books of endorsee also. Okay, so you will come across only journal entries in the books of bills of exchange. Okay, if you understand, okay, you please subscribe to my this thing. Thank you.